Hey everyone, it's been a minute, but I'm back. Um, I was taking care of my mom and she passed last year, and I've been having some things on my mind that I just wanted to make a video about. And then hopefully in the next, month or so, I'll start making regular videos on different subjects. I have a whole bunch of things that I want to do videos on. But first, this is like a personal project. Um, since 2018, as I'll explain, I've been getting like these prophetic words, and right before my mom passed, she started getting them as well. And there's a lot, so I'm going to do it in a series of like 5 words at a time and kind of go through them. And if not just for myself to make sense of it all, maybe somebody out there is also receiving prophetic words or messages from God. Um, I believe that's what it is. When I look up what is a prophetic word, um, it's usually something from the Holy Spirit that offers a glimpse into the future or what's to come. And like it says in the Bible, in the end days, everybody's going to be getting, messages and stuff. Not everybody, but you know what I mean? A lot of people. So, people do receive spiritual messages through various means, including prayer, meditation, dreams, visions, miracles, synchronicities. I think I'm getting them through synchronicities, and I know that it is a gift and that it has to be discerned, because obviously we're in a land of duality, and there's just as much evil out there right now as there is good. So it actually led me on this journey because I was never religious. I was always kind of like a free thinker, new ager type, open minded person. But then I got this journey that I went on, and it all started in 2012. And I was diagnosed with cancer at 48 years old, and I was single with 3 kids. And at first, it was really hard to swallow that fact, but that's what led to my spiritual awakening. I had to shed all the victim mentality, be grateful. I started eating organic, realized that everything was a lie. And prior to COVID hitting in 2021, I used to have great dreams, sometimes lucid dreams, sometimes prophetic dreams. I'm not sure why, but after COVID, they pretty much just drizzled down to nothing. But in 2017, right before COVID, I did have a dream that I was being downloaded with information. But when I woke up, I couldn't remember what the specifics of it were. I just knew that they were downloads. And 8 years later, from the time that I got cancer and I was doing all this awakening and researching and became a huge conspiracy theorist, and everybody thought I was nuts. My family, my mom and dad specifically, actually sat down with me and said that they thought I was, maybe having some kind of schizophrenic episodes because I was saying all this weird stuff. But I changed everything about myself and opened up a sound healing spa and was helping people deal with their traumas. But then, you know, I had some experiences and started getting these words. So my first word that I got was in 2018, and it was Vimana. And I didn't even know what a Vimana was. So I have this journal and I started doing random research. And it's basically these flying ships from India. And as you can see in my notes here, there's different types of them. Um, they could be temples, palaces, flying machines, travel in space, underwater in the atmosphere. They can carry up to 500 people. They can't break. They can't catch fire. They can't be destroyed. They can be motionless, invisible, and making enemies in flying craft go unconscious. They are kept in hangars. Uh, blah, blah, blah. You could probably pause the screen and look at my notes. But it's interesting that I put NASA was looking into creating an ion engine that uses high velocity electrified particles and uses mercury bombardment units powered by solar cells. Where I got that, I have no idea. It's been years. But my second word was Isle of Man, which is one of those British Isles up there, like where Thule Island is. And it's also the site of the Castle of the Holy Grail. Maybe King Arthur and Guinevere were buried there. There's a bunch of circles of stones. It's surrounded by the Irish Sea. It's known for fairies. And what I thought was really interesting was that the Douglases, like Peter Douglas, um, even the Gibb brothers, Barry Gibb Douglas, he's one of the Douglases, they were all born there. And it's also home to the Garwick Caves and a star fort, Castle Rushan. And supposedly it was founded by the Tuatha De Danann, and they're mystical giant creatures. And I don't know, that came up in my word list later on, like 2 years later. But here we are to word number 3, and now we're in 2019, soul. I didn't have many notes on what this was. It's a Roman sun god. A lot of people say it's Satan, and it looks like the Statue of Liberty. Word number 4 was heliosphere. I have no idea what that was. It's a protective bubble created by the solar wind that surrounds our solar system. It's important because it shields the planets from much of the harsh, high-energy radiation and cosmic rays from the Milky Way galaxy. And, we've been hearing a lot more about that the last few years with, the sunspots and the coronal mass ejections and all that crap. And I'm not sure where I heard this, where I made a note that a wave has entered through the heliosphere and there's more coming. And I think I heard that from Mike from around the world, that it was coming in waves. My 5th word was Titan. And I did meet a guy when I worked in a crystal shop, and he came in, he was bouncing all around and said that he was a Titan of old, and he came back in this young body, and he was here to do stuff during this generation, and I had no idea what he was talking about. But according to AI, Titan can refer to a member of a powerful family of gods in Greek mythology, um, someone of strength or influence, or a large celestial body. They were the offspring of Uranus and Gaia in Greek mythology, who ruled the earth before being overthrown by the Olympian gods. So I really think just with these first 5 words, I don't know, it has to do with something prophetic, and I'm going to get into the rest of them. There's like 60 of them. And if you have any words like these, please drop them in the comment section, because after I'm done with my words in this series, I plan to add all the ones that I get in the comments that other people are getting, and maybe put the pieces of the puzzle together to get a bigger picture of what's going on here. We could be in Satan's little season, and the more I read about that and study the Bible, the more I'm thinking that. But this is a list of most of my words. Sorry, I was trying to make it nice, but you can see this is an old journal and it's got stains, and it already had things written on it that I blacked out. But we did the first 5 words, and as you go down the list in that further left-hand column, there's Apollo, 46, which is Trump, Gog and Magog. I didn't even know what that was. So there's a lot of words here, and thank you for listening to my garbly gook, and I hope to see you next time.